What is going on, guys? And in today's video, I thought I'd share with you guys a few LEGO Star Wars sets that I find to be underrated. Let's start off first with the UCS A-Wing, and this is a set that I think is perfect. It does exactly what they set out to do. It make an Ultimate Collector edition of a A-Wing, and that's exactly what they did. They accomplished their goal in a perfect way. You have the cannons on the side that can rotate to face backwards. I love how it's on a display stand, how it's built like that so it looks like it's in flight, which is awesome. And even better, the minifigure with it was great. With this set, the only downside I can really think about is how there's no arm printing on the minifigure, but besides that, I really don't have anything bad to say. I just feel that when you look at all these other UCS sets, people are always looking at the big ones like the AT-AT, Millennium Falcon, Star Destroyer, Venator, Slave One, you name it, and it just gets lost in the bunch, and it's one that I feel doesn't get talked about enough. Let's keep things moving here, and let's go to the sequel trilogy wave of sets with Poe's X-Wing. Now I know, there's so much bad things to say about the sequel trilogy. I'm not crazy about them. Trust me, I don't want to get into all of that. But this set right here, I personally think it's good. It's one of those sets that you have orange and white. It's different than your typical Star Wars set that's black, gray. So when you have it on a shelf, it really pops out and it's going to catch someone's eye to be like, oh, what's that? It's a different color and it's going to stand out. I like the look of it. I like the swooshability. It's a good play set. And it's one of those sets that I feel over time people are going to come around to and be like, man, this is a good set. I can't believe I overlooked it when it was on shelves. Now let's move on to a set that I really regret not buying, and that is the Imperial Probe Droid. This display set looks fantastic. My favorite part about it is on the display stand, how they actually put snow on there to make it look like you were on Hoth. I think that's a great touch. It was fantastic, and I just love when they throw in those extra details they're small details, but they show that they went that extra mile to go make this product over the top. And it's one that, quite honestly, we're probably not going to get another buildable probe droid like we're getting with a buildable R2 upcoming later in this year. So I think this is just a one-off set that we're not going to see again. And I really regret not getting it. I don't know. I just overlooked it. I'm like, it's not really my favorite set on shelves at the time, but it was a solid price. It went really well. You could throw it on a desk, a shelf, in your display, and it looks really solid. And it's one that I just don't think people are talking about enough when they think of these helmet sets, midi scale sets. It's not thrown in the conversation of a good display set like those. And it's one that in conversations I just see going overlooked time and time again. Now let's take a look at a set that came out even more recent with the Ambush on Ferrix. Now this is a set that I think suffered from two situations in particular. First, it's overpriced. That's the simple one out of the way. Number two is the fact that the fans weren't as familiar with this set and show as other sets that would have been like a Clone Wars set. Fans are more familiar with that. This is a show that we didn't know all too much about. The consumer wasn't sure if they were going to like the show, and why would they sit here and buy something from a show that they didn't like. So all of that plays into the fact with it that it just didn't go over as well as LEGO really hoped it would. Now, I think this could have been different if they released another Andor set or two, then people would say, okay, I want to have the whole wave, the whole release for that. But you had Kenobi also coming out, so they were prioritizing other shows as well, rightfully so. So they only released one Andor set, which is where I feel the downfall for the set being seen as underrated really comes from. Now, I like the set, but I just can't justify the price on it. It falls into the category of the Justifier, a set that just retired, and I think it's a great set, but the price tag they had on it was way too much to be able to sit here and go out and buy it. That's a great set, by the way, if you have it. And rounding things off, we have a set that I'm surprised took LEGO this long to make in the UCS, Luke's Landspeeder. This set is fantastic, and you can find it on secondary markets for cheaper than retail. So if you want this set, there's no excuse why you're not picking it up by now. And you look at the minifigures on this set, and you get Luke and 3PO, and C-3PO has dual molded legs, which is regarded as a top minifigure, which is awesome to see. We love seeing that effort going into these sets. The set as a whole is great. It's nothing that's too big to display. You could put it right on your desk, right on your shelf with your other 100 land speeders or however many LEGO has made now. and it will go great with it. So it's one of those sets that I personally don't have yet, but it's one that I will definitely be picking up in the near future probably, just because you can find it for less in retail on sites like Amazon, eBay, Bricklink, all of those sites. And down in the comments below, let me know what sets you guys think are underrated, and I'll see you in the next one.